7 a.m. and Eddie Bamber, Tankfreight driver, arrives at the Widnes depot. Today's load will be caustic soda from ICI Runcorn.
Hello, Graham.
Hi, Eddie. There you go. Have you got your trim card?
Yeah, trim card and house chems.
Okay, then.
See you.
Ta-ra, Eddie.
Eddie's very much an individual, but like Tankfreight drivers throughout the country, above all, he's a true professional. Here's Bill Cheetham over at the Manchester depot. Before he takes his vehicle on a day of drops to local Texaco stations, he knows how important it is to check customer documentation. His paperwork may be different from Eddie's, but the principle of a thorough check still applies. You must set up a Tankfreight daily worksheet. This is an important document used to record the day's activity and to calculate your pay. The tachograph, another standard documentation procedure, professionally executed by Dennis Brown at the Urmston depot. This is a legal requirement for all drivers before starting their day. For Dennis, the day involves deliveries of starch from Manchester to a nearby railhead. Now, all Tankfreight drivers must check their vehicles before going out on the road, following the procedures in the driver's handbook, starting by checking the tyres. Check the oil, of course. And check the water. Are the hoses and fittings right for the load? Are they properly secured? Check the bunker fuel. And check the indicators, reflectors and lights. And don't forget, of course, to check the horn, the steering, the brakes, and the windscreen wipers. Safety is the professional driver's first consideration, and your personal safety hold-all must be checked just as thoroughly as the vehicle and the trailer. Check all the special safety equipment, such as fire extinguishers, both on the trailer and in the cab. Remember that smoking and the use of flashlights, unless spark-proof, are banned with any flammable load. Before leaving the depot, check to see that the tank is empty and that where necessary, it's been cleaned. And make sure that you get a certificate. All the essential safety checks having been completed, the day's work begins in earnest. Each of the drivers goes his separate ways. Bill sets off to get his load. Dennis is on the move towards Manchester. And Eddie is already across the bridge. Whether you're going to load at a Tankfreight terminal or at a customer's, for maximum safety, there's just one golden rule: follow the rules. That means the procedures in the Tankfreight driver's handbook, as well as customers' loading procedures, government regulations, and the highway code. Get to know the specific procedures at customer loading facilities. When hazardous loads are being carried, make certain that the correct HazChem labels are displayed, and that the correct trim card is in place. You must check in at the appropriate point. And when it's your turn to load, move carefully into position. Meanwhile, Dennis is about to pick up his load. He's keeping to the speed limit and watching out for low beams. He makes sure he's in the right position. Remember that you're on a customer's premises. Be businesslike and polite. You're the Tankfreight professional on site, so look the part, and remember that you are the company's representative. Our third driver, Bill, switches off the master switch before entering the loading bay. Switch off the engine. Make sure you know where the safety equipment is. And when you're loading inflammable liquids or powders, be aware of the dangers of static electricity. You must fit the earth lead to your tank. When you're on the road, remember, you're at the top of your profession. Keep to the speed limits and obey the rules of the road. You're in charge of a valuable, often potentially hazardous load. So, however badly other road users behave, you have to play it by the book. A first-class performance, day in, day out. If you're ever involved in an emergency, on the road, or when loading or discharging, keep cool and use your safety training to minimize the risk to those in the vicinity. And always keep your first aid skills up to date. When you're discharging, follow the procedures for unloading. A professional never assumes where the load has to go. He checks with the customer. Follow the basic rules. Fit the hose to customer's end first, and then to the tanker end. Always check the hose ends and lid clamps. Don't leave it to the operator. If you bypass the systems, you're putting yourself, your colleagues, our customers, and our company at risk. Get it right, and you're building good, safe business for everyone.
Cheers. Cheers, Ron.
Bill is getting on with his schedule of drops at Texaco stations. Once again, he carefully follows the procedures. Show the customer the dipstick. You must always ask the customer to check that the vessel will take the load. Then connect the hose to the customer's end. Get a petroleum certificate and connect to the tanker. Open the MCO valves and release the load. It's the only safe way. When you've finished, show the customer the dipstick again. And don't forget the signature on the POD.
Thanks, Dan. See you next week.
When you get back to base, there are still procedures to be carried out. These differ from one depot to another, but all are vitally important. Clean your vehicle, check the bunker fuel, report any defects, and perhaps preload, ready for tomorrow. Then hand in completed paperwork and check on tomorrow's jobs. So we've taken a quick look at 3 different drivers, 3 different loads, and 3 different vehicles. The common thread has been the following of procedures throughout the day. Tankfreight is the leading company of its kind in the UK, providing a powerful combination of high service levels and total quality commitment. Safety is a vital element in the company's success, and we're proud of our drivers' exceptional safety record. But if we're to stay ahead, we have to maintain and improve these safety standards still further, safely moving on, whatever the place, whatever the load. This applies to Tankfreight documents, customers' documents, as well as statutory documents. Are the documents for your vehicle? Are the documents for your customers? Have you fitted a new tachograph disc? Have you filled in your daily worksheet? It's your responsibility to make a visual check of oil levels, water levels, antifreeze when required, bunker fuel, tyres, lights, indicators and reflectors, faucets, pipes, etc., safety clothing and equipment. You must also make a physical check of the horn, steering, brakes and windscreen wipers. You must comply with all regulations covering hours of duty, breaks and rest periods, and speed limits. On the road, you must be aware of other road users and the general public, and your objectives must be safe, defensive driving and courtesy. Before loading, check for any special conditions for loading, the correct documentation for the delivery, the correct vehicle and equipment to carry and discharge the load, and the correct loading point and product. You must ensure that you display the correct hazard warning panel for the load being carried, the correct trem card in a prominent position, and that all other trem cards are locked away. Before leaving the loading point, check the vehicle is not overloaded, all valves are shut off and man lids fully secured, all hoses and other equipment are securely stowed, you're aware of any special conditions that apply to the discharge of the load, and if in doubt, always refer to your driver's handbook. Keep your depot informed of any delays. Never assume that you know where the product will go. You must ask the customer. Before discharge, you must agree with the customer the quantities carried. If petroleum spirit or other hazardous substances are being delivered, both driver and customer must comply with the Petroleum Spirits by Road Regulations 1957 and the Dangerous Substances Conveyance by Road in Road Tankers and Tank Containers Regulations 1981 SI 1059. After discharging, check with your depot for further loading instructions. When you finish work, all PODs or other relevant documents must be handed in to the traffic office. All these procedures are detailed in your copy of the Tankfreight Driver's Manual. Please use this manual and think about the points made in this film. Good luck and safe driving.
One of the most important aspects of my job is monitoring health and safety standards in the industry. Therefore, I welcome the positive attitude taken by Tankfreight. Tankfreight is a market leader in all aspects, and the continuing maintenance of health and safety standards is paramount to us both. I am delighted to endorse this training film on behalf of the company, and I wish you every success for the future.